I can be conscious about the cultural differences, but I can tell you that some people in Rwanda, women in Rwanda will find me weird. That's where I'm from. Or black women will find me weird. In a sense that I don't prescribe to certain thinking or stereotypes of an African. Let's talk about interracial dating, especially between a black person and an Asian, specifically in Japan. We will get to other countries, but today I want to just talk about that one because it so happens that I did date and marry a Japanese lady. So I start to on a topic that I am more immersed, and I know most of you are curious. They are curious. I recently watched a video that I think pretty much reflect what I have seen for the last 20 something years since I first dated someone from Japan. Let's just take a look.
ですね。黒人の方についてどんなイメージを持ってますか？
フレンドリーなイメージで、
あ
あんまそうだから誰とでも喋れてすごいテンション高くて。
でもなんかマフィアのイメージすごい強い。外国のさマフィアのそうアフリカとかのマフィアのイメージ強い。でもなんか話しやすいとか割と明るいとか。
お姉さんは
やんちゃですごい可愛らしいとこもあるんで
身近にいらっしゃるからこそ出てくる言葉ですね。もし黒人の方とこう友達になる機会があったり付き合ったりしたいと思いますか？
友達になったらすごい楽しそう。
あ、そうだね。面白い。
付き合うってなったらどうですか？
なんかガードマンみたいに守ってくれそうな。
ボディーガードみたいな。
強そう。
確かに強そう。喧嘩とかね。
包容力やばそう。
ハグした時のね腕の筋肉とか。
筋肉好きですか？
割と。
Guys, what do you think? By the way, if you haven't, please subscribe. Please subscribe. Keep supporting this channel, growing. Let's go to 1,000. I have a lot of topics to share, things we can learn from. Because that's what it's all about. That's what started this journey, and I appreciate if you have subscribed, if you are watching. The statistics shows me that, hey, people don't subscribe. I mostly comments, let's share, let's connect. When I first traveled to Japan, I was 21 years old. And this is kind of important because I was then kind of a newcomer to Canada. I had not been immersed into certain thinking or certain fantasies. I'm just a pure African. And my upbringing has always been international. My father, because he traveled, and we always welcome people from all over the world, including Japanese people in my world. So for me, it wasn't so much about I'm curious. It was just finding someone who likes me. Period. It didn't matter your creed. It doesn't matter. Just if you like me and we can vibe, we share the same cultures and value. That's what I'm all about. I'm honest. Of course, I can be conscious about the cultural differences, but I can tell you that some people in Rwanda, women in Rwanda will find me weird. That's where I'm from. Or black women will find me weird.
Damn!
In a sense that I don't prescribe to certain thinking or stereotypes of an African. One of which you will quickly see me in the kitchen doing the dishes. And when I'm in Rwanda, sometimes I'm reminded, at least in the traditional homes, that men don't do dishes. You know, you are a man. Back to Japanese dating, you heard, and I think that's a very good representation. I wanted the ladies to speak for themselves, since my wife will not come on camera. I will try, but I guarantee you not. But we've been together for the last 25 years. It's been amazing, guys. Yeah, that's true. And what I can say is, yeah, when I landed in Japan, it was too many people I met, and the women in particular. They had never seen someone of my kind from Africa or a black person. So yeah, there is always, in their culture, they are always very self-conscious. It's not just towards foreigners, the gaijin as they call us. It's just, even towards Japanese, they're always self-conscious. And if they don't know how to behave, especially then, because now we are seeing more of international travel, but even then, whoa, we were rare to travel. I mean, for a fact. And they don't know how to react, or how to feel. And they always prevent an embarrassing situation. And therefore, they may maybe appear more reserved or not interested to us. But they are. Who doesn't like black men? Huh? Tell me. Look at us. You heard. There's a lot of positive things. And that's what I like about this video. The perception they have about us, it's mostly positive, wouldn't you say?
の方に対するイメージ、なんかいいイメージも悪いイメージもなんかあれば教えてください。
強そうだし、なんか仲間意識も強そうだなみたいな感じします。
なんか悪いイメージはなんかありますか？
なんだろう、
お会いしたことないからもう本当にイメージになっちゃうと思うんですけど。
ちょっとでも見た目が強そうなので結構怖く見えちゃうかもしれないです。
ああ、はいはい。
That one who said we may look scary because we look strong, that's true. And images you see on TV also has an impact. Because in my days, when I was there in the early 2000s, most of them, they watched a lot of course, Hollywood movies. So guys who looked like Brad Pitt back then were very popular, you know, that face, you know, if he's like gentle, or those who watched anyone from the US, who was that guy? Grant? Yeah, you get the idea. Those type of guys. And so the European guys, of course, and I think maybe to this date, because they watch Hollywood and they see those people, the Brad Pitt type, and that's pretty much the beauty, that's the standard, that's the guy they would like to be with. And hey, no offense, I don't take offense. I always feel that if you don't see my value as a person first, then it's yours. It really is. Sometimes I think we black people suffer from a very strong inferiority complex that if we are not accepted the way we feel, it should be, then we feel it's racism or it's in Lingala we say in Kiswahili kila mtu na maisha na to each their own, really, and that's important. But you've seen those videos, those girls in Japan, at least, they don't have that negative perception of us. The kokujin, that's the black people. So hey, go and find yourself a lady if you want, if that's what you're into. Especially in Japan, they need babies. It's a country that is experiencing a high declining birth. They don't make babies. Or do they? But they have, really old people there. Until you go to Japan, until I went to Japan, I had never really saw what we call elderly. Because here in Canada, I think once you hit 70, they are sending you in a home. And when I'm in Japan, I see this 90-year-old waiting for a bus. Most of them still live in their home. Hey, so that's another benefit. If you marry a Japanese person, their longevity is legendary. When you go do your vows and say they forever, yeah, I think it's more real when you marry a Japanese person. They may outlive you. I will share the video in the comment if you'd like to see. It's not that long. I truly enjoyed what I heard and I have experienced. I think it's more genuine. It's not just sometimes we watch things and you can see it's a bit too much, but the lady seems to be very genuine on how they felt about kokujin or black people. But what you have to remember, what I've seen in Japan, is that whether you are black or white, we are all known as gaijin, foreigners. And one way or another, except those who have, of course, who have been influenced by what they've seen on TV, and I'm glad that that's changing. And of course, I did benefit from that too, because in some places there were some people who actually admired the reggae music, and they will ask, "Are you from Jamaica?" Or you have those who are into basketball, and they will ask, "Do you play basketball?" It's very interesting. It's very, very interesting. To me, though, being new in Canada and going to the US, that was kind of interesting. Sorry, going to Japan, because my mentality understands. I've been in this country for too long. I understand this thinking of, okay, interracial dating from this point of view. It comes with a lot of biases and a lot of perceptions, which I try to stay away from, but I'm aware. But then coming, as they say, fresh from the boat, even though I was already westernized and aware of the world, the surroundings, I was still innocent in many ways. I was just interested in getting to know people. And that's why in my next video, I will also talk about certain negative things that I've heard about us. Some were said by someone that I met in Japan, but maybe they did not mean it in a way that we think. It's very interesting. It's very interesting. But the point of this video is that when it comes to love, when it comes to dating, when it comes to friendship, I truly believe that the person you're going to be with should not be only based on your cultural background. Some of us feel strongly that we can only be with the person we share the same culture, countries, you name it. I go for values, because there are many Africans who are not born on the continent of Africa, but still they're Africans. But you will see that, hey, they think differently. Even those kids who are biracial, who have parents, like the video I've posted, the lady who is half Nigerian, half Japanese, well, she still is African in a way, half African, but okay. But in her mind, in her thinking, if she's never left Japan, she's more Japanese, right? So go find love. Maybe in Japan or anywhere else in the world. And let me know if there's another country you're interested in. Maybe we're going to talk about Europe. But yes, interracial dating, interracial anything interests me, because I live in Canada, and especially in Vancouver. Well, now I'm no longer in the dating pool, but I work or in everyday life, especially we are getting in a more of a globalization. So how do we interact with people who don't look like us? Thank you for watching. I will see you definitely in the next one. Bye-bye.